everyone involved, the Oak Island universe, is that type of person. You guys, I can tell, you're that type of person. You hear a story like this, you latch onto it like a dog, and you're just like, let's go. And yes, it's frustrating. And yes, you want it to be solved tomorrow. And yes, who doesn't want to find a chest of gold? Of course we do. Of course, everyone does. But it doesn't work like that sometimes. These things are hard. And so it's taking what it's taking. And that is, in this case, 10 years.
Right.
It will explain parts of North American history you've never thought about.
See, I can't wait. The History Channel could not have come up with a better teaser than we just did right here. So I tell you what, stay tuned, folks, because this is going to be a good one. I can't wait.
This is Robert Clotworthy, the narrator of The Curse of Oak Island. And I have a question for you. Could it be that you are listening to The Curse of Oak Island and Beyond live stream?
This is a top pocket find, mate, for sure.
Hey everyone, welcome to the J-Free 906 podcast and the Curse of Oak Island and Beyond series. Seth is sitting in the chair for the Curse of Oak Island show tonight.
Yeah, I'm doing good. Happy to be here.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So, yep, Tom had a different obligation. So, for Thursday night. So, we brought in Seth. He said he would love to. He knows all about Oak Island. Don't get me wrong. He's not just a Skinwalker Ranch. He actually, when we first met, it was all about Oak Island first, right?
Oh yeah.
So, that's pretty cool. So yeah, I reached out to him today. I said, hey, short notice, can you come on and co-host? He's like, yeah. It's like, make sure the wife says okay. That's
Absolutely. Yeah. She gave the thumbs up, and I'm happy to be here, ready to talk about Oak Island.
Yeah, for sure. So this will be fun to have you here for this. So, but anyway, we're gonna try to keep this. I didn't, Linda. Thank you for the reminder. I gotta make sure I do that. We're gonna try to keep this down to about an hour, if that's humanly possible with me. And it usually is not. So we're gonna dispense, like we have been lately, with saying hi to individual people. I'll just say hi to everyone that has come so far. I see all the names out here so far on the Facebook side and the YouTube side, but thank you so very much. And if you like the content of our show, please give us a thumbs up, because that really helps with the YouTube stuff, and subscribe to the channel if you would, please. That helps also. Subscribing, and then click on that notification bell. You'll know right away when we come out with new content. And here we are doing the Curse of Oak Island on a Thursday night, which is so unusual. Last night, as you know, we were supposed to have our interview with, and I don't like to call him an interview, our discussion, our roundtable, with Scott Clark. And he wrote this book right here, The Oak Island Odyssey. I tell you what, this is a great book. It truly is. The way he breaks all this stuff down in here is just it's so good. I really like it. Now we've had Scott on before. We had him on, gosh, I don't know. Was that last fall, I think, or something? We had him on, and it's you can watch it. It's out there in our YouTube, on my YouTube channel page, and you can find it. Just go to the top and search across and just put in Scott Clark. It'll pop up. You can watch it there. It was a great, Alessandra Nadovari co-hosted with me, and we had a great time with Scott. And this time, Alessandra's coming back with Tom, but we had a little issues going on with several people yesterday, so we just decided to postpone, and it's going to be later in the summertime when we're going to have him on. And anyway, apologize for that, but yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. There's a comment from Linda. It comes up with my name on it. She's Linda 906, by the way, I guess. I guess Jan started that or something. All right. So tonight we are going to be talking about the drilling down episode that was on Tuesday night. And Linda and I kind of talked about it and thought, wow, they're going to do this, and maybe we should get on and try to, if you can limit yourself to an hour, just to come on and talk about it a little bit. So that's why we are here tonight doing this. And I tell you what, it was very interesting. Some of the things that they brought to the table, literally, to talk about. and I thought this would be a good opportunity to talk about some of the things that we didn't get answers to when the season ended.
Right.
Now, we didn't see the copper colored whatever it is with the blue stones in it. People said, "Oh, is that going to be there?" And I'm like, "Nah, I don't think so. I really don't think we'll ever hear about that ever again."
It's a shame. Even if it was proven to be something not exotic or exciting, it's still part of the journey. You know,
Exactly.
You can cross that off. I remember there was the lipstick case. You know, that was,
yes, the lipstick case.
and I think Laird was the one that was like, "Sorry, guys."
There goes Linda. She agreed with you right there. Last year's lipstick case.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's fine.
Or the brass knob.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Could
so
it
we
be?
didn't see it, but they didn't even talk about it at all. Which was kind of a letdown.
Yeah.
But I did want to couple of things that I really hoped for. We did hear about, and one was the Muon Sensor Data.
Yes. I'll be honest.
Get to that.
That's all I wanted to hear.
Yeah, we're gonna save that for the end. The one thing I did want to hear about, we did not, unless I completely missed it, was the little chunk of wood that they got off the end of the drill bit when they went down below the 82-foot level.
The tiny speck of wood. Okay.
I was hoping we'd get a date on that, and we did not.
I don't think
so.
We did.
I don't know, what does that mean? Does it mean that the date was not what they were hoping? I don't know.
Let's see. Linda says something about that jewel. No, Prometheus had no idea. Well, somebody put it in the preview. Got everybody excited.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So anyway, but so so there was some good things that came out of it. I thought personally, I thought there was some good information. So I'm definitely not going to bring that down at all. I thought it was very good. Yeah, no carbon dating exactly of anything that we saw. Not even that piece of charcoal that was found in the there was a piece of charcoal found in the wall, and I think there was something that Laird was dating from the stone circle in lot 5. I think he found a couple pieces of wood in there that we never heard anything about either. So
I kind of felt like almost every archaeological site was kind of left that way, maybe intentionally to keep us tuning in for next season. But
yeah, and they did run out of time for the permits that were for the money pit and the Dumas mining portion of it, because they had to get the mining permit. That did run out, so they had to stop there. I am going to share a picture, and this is a picture that Laird had showed on the season finale. And the thing that gets me about this particular picture is that it looks to me like there's a void below. I don't know, but look down in here.
And where was this at? Is this the
This
the
is
hatch?
that where he was. No, the hatch. If you want to call it the hatch, let's call it the hatch. So on lot 5, when they were digging into the wall section, the circular area that had the rocks on the top, and they were digging into it. I mean, and he did not dig out the dirt in between those rocks. I mean, he's scraping off the top of them. But remember when Laird said he was afraid it would collapse? That's why he wanted to come and pick out some of the bigger rocks. He said, "I'm afraid it'll collapse."
You're absolutely right, because I'm looking at this big, small boulder, in the middle of the picture.
This one right here.
There's no packed dirt around it. It
None.
looks like it's all fallen under.
Right.
It's not like he would have lifted out the dirt.
Right. Whoa. He didn't reach in between the rocks and pull that dirt out of there.
Jeff.
So what's going on there that we don't know about yet? Is it truly the hatch? Yes, it does, Gail. It looks like there's an opening there.
I didn't even notice that.
So, I mean, but there were some sticks in there. We didn't get them dated, sewer cam needed. I like that. Yeah, Jackie said sewer cam needed. But yeah, so I thought this was really cool.
Sorry, I saw Jan's comment. Sitting in that hole digging, bye. As it collapses.
now next thing you know, he is at the bottom of the money pit or whatever. Yeah. Yeah. Zena's map, toxic. I tell you,
I thought, nah, no way when I first saw that thing, the map. But now I've come around on it, and I've heard you say this before, where whether the map is original or not, or legit, what the drawing that she got, the information sure enough seems to be.
exactly. Yeah, you're exactly right. Much of the information has proven to be so, and that's the key.
I was wrong on that. I'll happily admit it.
And even Marty always said Zena's map, if true, he always put that on the end of it.
I like, and of course, this is why we all love Rick, seeing the emotion that he gets when the work of his dear friend is validated is really heartwarming.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I'm glad they captured that and showed on the show, because that's why I watch. If not for Rick and Marty and the team, I think I started watching it season 3 as far as like live. So it's been a while, and I keep coming back because of those guys.
Yeah, me too. I'm really there with Rick all the way. I mean, I really want to know what happens, and I really want that history, and I want him to find something. You heard Marty say, and I'm going to jump to this portion now too. When Matty went out there to Traverse City last winter, this was last winter. Obviously, you can see the snow on the ground. He's all bundled up, but Traverse City can be very cold in the winter. But here they are, and he is meeting with the guys right there. And there's Traverse City Rock Management, and then they're at the table. So that particular meeting was really important because they wanted to kind of talk about some of the things that we didn't hear about yet in the season 10, but also kind of taking a look forward into season 11. But even Marty, like I was getting to, Marty had said something about validation, that it was all worth it. And that's something that Dan Blankenship kind of felt at the end, that it wasn't for him. In a way. Now, Dave was involved with this too, but I think there was something that I was watching, and it might have been one of the drilling downs with Matty Blake, where he was talking about whether or not it was worth it all, in the end. And for him, they didn't find anything. So I really want, if nothing else, I want the history, and I want some vindication for what they're doing here, and find something,
You're right. I just made the comment about, I've been watching 7 years, and that's nothing compared to what these guys have put into it. And talking about Dan Blankenship and the people that have spent their lifetime, your words just now made me really kind of reflect on, this isn't a 10-year thing. This has been a decades, hundreds of years. And it's so easy to kind of forget that and focus just on for me it is, sometimes I focus just on Rick and Marty, 17 years.
Yeah.
Even that's a small part of the whole story. And it's
truly,
we're all standing on the shoulders of those that went before us.
Yep. Now, as they were talking here at the table, some of the things that he talked about right off the bat was the garden shaft. And they mentioned on here a couple things about the garden shaft. And one was that, they went through this rehab of the garden shaft, which was awesome. I'm glad they got that done. They were out there actually in the off season, and they were actually looking at it. And some of us kind of knew a little bit about that, but we weren't allowed to say anything. But they were out there actually looking at it with the team and deciding that, and they were showing, some of the Dumas people about it, and they were making a plan. This was during the winter months. Not last year, but the year before last. But they were making some plans of what to do with it and how they could go about it. So they went through the refurb of this thing, and they got down to the 82-foot level, what Dumas Mining did. And they also, initially they thought that this garden shaft was a 19th century searcher shaft done in the 1800s, right? So, but then they had that wood that was dated before the 1795 discovery of the money pit. Do you remember what was that?
1735.
Yeah.
1735.
That's crazy. I mean, so, and that makes you think, okay, if it's before you know, McGinnis, Vaughn, and Smith found the money pit in the first place,
Mm-hmm.
then who would have built this? Could it have been part of the original depositors, or could it have been somebody coming and doing a withdrawal at some point, and they built this shaft to get down there again and do a withdrawal?
That's what I think. My hunch.
Yep. I don't know.
Yeah.
But at 1735,
Because and the reason why I have that hunch is they're going to make a withdrawal is the blob, the location of the blob.
mm-hmm.
I don't think the depositors would just dig straight down and put the gold right there, and all that other stuff is just distraction. I think there are other ways to get to it, but somebody in 1735 knew exactly where to go straight down. How does a searcher shaft be that close to the blob? They knew. They were making a withdrawal.
Yeah.
Or they were depositing. I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to say. It really is. But
someone could make an, easily shut down all my thoughts. And but yeah, I think the withdrawal.
Yeah. So I don't know. Also, and then they also talked a little bit about Ian Spooner going out and he tested the water in the garden shaft as well and found the highest concentration of the gold and silver contents were right there in that area and also in the blob.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, so that really turned the light on to the whole thing. And I wanted to mention that too, is that you remember how disappointed I was, at least for me, I was very disappointed when I found out that they had to all stop, Dumas Mining, all stop. They couldn't continue in the garden shaft because of permitting. Now, this happened to them in previous seasons when they had the McMaw pottery that was found and all stop on certain areas. But what that does is it then pushes them to look in other places and look at other stuff. And I'm so glad that they did, because not only did they find the well, they searched out the well this season and the wall on lot 26, the well and the wall. They also went back to the swamp, which they were probably going to do that anyway. But they were able to look in other areas, and they were able to do other drilling in the money pit, and they found stuff we'll get to in just a few minutes, but they found the actual tunnels underground by means of doing this drilling. Now, would they have been done the drilling then, when the money pit was being, or the garden shaft was being, rehabbed? I don't know. But again, it pushes them to do other things because they couldn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was a very good point.
Absolutely. Yeah. And Barbara made a good point too about the why would you leave anything there if you're making a withdrawal, which maybe proves kind of what you were thinking of. They couldn't get to it.
They didn't
try.
Yeah, maybe it flooded. Maybe who knows? They got down to that 82-foot level. They stopped, obviously, because the dirt, you got that bowl of dirt down there where they stopped.
Yeah.
Then it doesn't go anywhere from there. So maybe it flooded and they stopped and they just never made it. So maybe the gold is still there. Now, there you go back to Ian Spooner. And that's why you hear people like Marty and Rick saying, especially Marty, that he's still concentrating on the money pit because of that data.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. I mean, if not
data
for that,
the water samples.
Yeah. Can you think how we would all feel if Ian Spooner's data didn't prove that there was actually gold there? Because I thought with those huge caissons from last season, they're going to find it. And
exactly. I did too.
They seemed to find less than when they had the smaller caissons.
Yeah, they did.
So honestly, if not for Dr. Ian Spooner, I don't know if we'd even still have a show.
I know. There you go. Well, we wouldn't have they wouldn't be so concentrated on the money pit. They'd be doing other stuff because the money pit, we out of here.
Yeah. I mean, how could it's so hard to think how anything could be down there still.
I know. Yeah. And they completely missed it. So we'll see. But the water samples, I showed this because of that importance. And also this right here, Emma. And then she got the round of applause from everybody and the big cheers when she came up and showed the samples of the wood that were taken from the original walls of the garden shaft, dating back to 1735, had gold content in them. And then she shared them on the table. And don't forget, on the 31st, I got to say this while I'm thinking about Emma and mentioning her, The 31st, next Wednesday, the 31st, Emma and Laird are on the show. I can't wait. It's going to be an awesome show. Emma and Laird.
She's been a great addition. The science, the testing, the scans they're able to do.
Yep.
The science really has gotten very exciting on Oak Island this last season, and has been again. Here's Emma saying there's gold in the wood. Science really driving it home. You guys are on the right path. Don't give up.
Yep. Rookie of the year.
Oh, for sure. She's the rookie of the year.
She gets a rookie of the year for sure.
Yeah, anybody that gets to say, I detect gold.
Yeah. The other thing that I wanted to show, they quickly glimpsed this last night too, was the old ladder that was found down there still after all these years.
So
I sure hope and I know they had to have saved it. I'd love to see this in the, I agree with you, Keith. Yep. And
absolutely.
She knows what she's doing for sure. I'm hoping that they put this in the museum, and then when the museum is open, I want to see this. I'd love to see this ladder. Why? Because it's a piece of history. Is it wood? Does it matter to anything? Probably not, but I want to see it.
That ladder was bringing men up and down that shaft who knew things that we don't.
Yep. Back in 1735-ish.
So cool.
So cool. Definitely so cool. All right. Now, one of the other areas, and I want to jump ahead. I want to see where my pictures go here because I want to get to the right spot. I'm saving the Muon technology for the end here because I'm going to really elaborate on that a bit, huh?
Am I saying it country? Is it Muon? And I've been saying Muon.
It's Muon.
Muon. Okay.
Yeah, you got MU for Mu.
Sorry, folks.
Yeah, Muon. It's like a cat. Muon.
Muon. All right.
So we're going to jump over to this section, and this was the cool thing too, and it's one of those areas where we didn't get any more answers during the season, and that was over here when they were looking for the dam. They remember they went over there with Tom Nolan, and he owns the land over there, of course. And then you got I don't remember this guy's name, but he came out Jeremy, I think. I could be wrong. I don't remember his name. Oh, she probably has it in the notes.
Stefan Grund.
There you go. Yes, Stefan. Yeah. He came over and he did some, work with the, the metal detector there, the magnetometer. He went back and forth across that area, and they found those hits. Then they got permission to do a shallow dig on the property, and again, they had to get permits for all this kind of stuff. They did the shallow dig. And then they found that piece of wood that had oil on it. It was oil.
And what kind of did they talk at all, or was it you and Tom that were talking about why that is significant, that the wood is oily, that would be to kind of help the dam, or?
Well, it would preserve the wood from the salt water. And they didn't have creosote back then, so they used oil, and they actually soaked it in oil to help it soak through the wood and help preserve it to some degree. Okay. Yeah. Back then back in the old days, they didn't have creosote, or nowadays we've got the I completely lost. When you go to the lumber store and you buy it, it's kind of greenish color. I'm completely lost.
Yeah, I know.
But I buy it all. I've got some of it, but it's treated wood. It's treated lumber.
Scott said linseed oil.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I don't know. And here's what they had made up at that time. They had a little thing they were talking about. Hey, Jess. They were talking about the damming of the wall, and as you can see right here and in here, they were talking about damming the money pit on either end the swamp on either end to then fill it in and fill it in with dirt or whatever. I'm still on the fence with that. I don't know if that's the whole the water levels being lower. I mean, we've kind of debated about this,
right?
About the whole whether or not it was two islands. I don't know. What do you think? I mean,
I'm with you. If I understand correctly, the water level was lower, and I think I've seen people discuss how many feet per X amount of years.
A foot per 100 years.
Right. So it doesn't seem like to me that it would have been two islands. I don't know. But I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, hard to say. Wasn't there? Don't know. But so whether or
Yeah.
not that's true, but I want to find out, and apparently we are going to get back to that in season 11. They're going to get back to that. They had to get more permits to be able to dig further into that
Right.
dam area and see what they could find. The interesting thing about it is it lines up with Xena's map. And if we go back to Xena's map, you got the hatch up on the top there, which we think they may have found on lot 5. And we know this isn't quite to scale. The valve actually points more to where I thought the hatch would be. Hey, Craig, thank you. Appreciate that, sir. Thank you. So the dam, and it's marked right there on Xena's map. Now, who would have known? Even if somebody fabricated this map, who would have known that there was a map supposed to be, or a dam that was supposed to be there at that time? I mean, were they guessing completely? And now we don't know if there's one down there or yet or not. But I mean, I don't know. Here we go back to her map. So, I don't know.
And the wood, they dated the wood, that oil wood. It was 1200 and 1500 AD. That was the pin. Carmen dated a pin that they had found.
Right. Yeah, the wood, I don't know.
Carmen
we haven't heard anything about that, but Carmen said that pin that they found, steel spike or whatever was, 1200 to 1500 AD.
And that date, the 1200s keep popping up a lot with the road and all these other structures.
Right. Now we know that we get back to the other parts of the swamp, but we know that Jeremy Church, the geophysicist, went out and did the magnetometry surveys across the swamp. He's the one that came up with those pictures of the red hot spots.
Yes.
It didn't turn out to be metal hits. They actually turned out to be the ramp that they covered this year. So that was pretty cool. But they want to do some further investigations of the swamp.
Well, you have to.
Well, yeah, they have to. And that's one of the things that, they have not given up on it for sure. So, and then they came up with this picture, which I know probably made Jack Campbell, jump up in his chair. Yes, they are behind me. I've got several of them back there. Oh, you can't hardly see them in that picture, but yeah. And the little sign that my cousin made right there.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah, he's going to make another one too because he didn't have the right letters font. He didn't have the right font for the letters on it. All right. So the swamp here, they were talking about that Coffer Dam and all the metal pieces for the Coffer Dam that have been piled up sitting in the money pit up on the hill for 2 years now. They're finally going to get to use it. It looks like. But you had a little issue with this, I think.
The same as what Jim is saying, where I'm thinking, okay, it doesn't seem to cover enough of the swamp. I don't know if it's a permitting issue. Like I think you said when I was kind of going, why aren't they covering more? Yeah. Exactly. I mean, the ship, I think most of the ship anomaly is in there, but I think a good portion of it may not be. It looks like the peninsula that Gary, is it Tom Nolan? His dad did the peninsula up there. It looks like, I don't know. I don't know why.
The ship shape anomaly was.
Exactly.
Like this.
There was that 1 year, and this a couple years ago, they ended the season where they had the hammer grab going out and they were pulling something, and there was this big wood, and then we never saw it again. I feel like it doesn't cover enough. And
that hammer grabbing was, or not hammer grabbing, but he was reaching out with the long reach excavator he was on the road.
Well, there's one,
they weren't allowed to get in there.
One season he was doing it from the peninsula though, and this was a couple years ago, I think. But and then. So the ramp is on the other side of the peninsula, another side of the Coffer Dam as well, right?
Yeah, the ramp would be right about in here.
And their comment about just the conditions, they were too wet, so the archaeologists didn't get in there. So do they think that's going to change? I mean, I would think include that in the Coffer Dam so you can let the archaeologists really get at it, because Rick said it's even more exciting to him than the road, or even as exciting. So to me, sorry. I'm rambling now, but I'd like to see more of the swamp included.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, the eye up here especially.
Oh, well, yeah, we know how you feel about the eye.
Pull that plug.
Yes.
Is that what you were talking about here, Robert? More angled? Something like that. I was just trying to, give you an idea of roughly where it was.
And that's a good point. Maybe they don't want to destroy the stone platform. Those coffer dams could cause damage.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. Again, it's easy to be the armchair quarterback.
Yeah, exactly.
Why don't they do this? I'm sure they thought of it already.
Yeah. You would think anyway. Chances are they did. They already knew about it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, to the right, more to the right. Okay. Okay. I see what you're saying. So you're saying more like this, something like more like that. Okay. Anyway, in that general area, but with this area that they're going to cordon off and get it to be really dried out, that was the problem they had with last year. They couldn't get it dry enough, and it was because they need to do this, and that's why. And they talked about starting this earlier.
Yes,
getting on it earlier.
And getting the permits going. Seems the relationships are all really good. That was an exciting takeaway for me when Rick said we're going to get started early. Permits are already going.
Yep.
Yeah.
The one thing that I thought about this too, that's kind of a, because we're respecting Circuit Trova's wishes and we're not going to be doing the, flying the drone over, and I got a guy that's ready to go. He said, I'll do the drone anytime you want and do. And no, I can't. We're going to do a little bit of something, but we're working on getting permissions for it, staying off of the island, not going over, but we'll see how that all turns out. But the problem with this wall is, even though it's a good thing on almost every front, Colin can't see over it when he's in his boat. He's not going to be able to see over it. And neither will Karen cover.
We'll get good pictures of a wall.
Yeah, we're going to get pictures of a wall.
Kayak.
Woo! That's a cool wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, Colin. Well, Colin is what, 6'7" or 8, something like that.
Whoa, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's huge. Yeah, him and Jack both. They're both like 6'8".
Whoa.
But if he stands on the top of his boat, maybe then he could see over the top of the wall. I don't know. Depends on how big it is. But
yeah,
and Karen goes around in her kayak, so she'll never see over that wall. So we won't be able to see what's going on.
Nope.
Oh well.
You get one of those telescoping poles and put a mirror at the top of it.
Yes. I mean, we gotta come up. We gotta be inventive here. We really gotta come up with something. So, I know they won't be able to use that road. They're gonna have to go through Nolan's property to get around now.
Yeah,
because they want to go all the way out across the road.
I'm sure Nolan would be okay with that to get answers in the swamp.
Toxic, you get me a ride in a real helicopter and I'll do it. I'll go up and take pictures. I'd love to do that. I would
bring an extra pair of socks.
Yep. So anyway, so I'm really excited about this. And I know Jack Campbell is probably very excited about this, because if there is a ship in there anywhere, they will find it, because they're going to excavate this entire area or major portions of it while they're doing this. So that's really cool. All right. So we got to move along here so we can keep this to an hour. All right. Now, one of the other points, let's see here. Let me get to, okay. Let's go ahead and jump over to the Muon data. All right. Now, on this Muon data, there were some things that I wanted to show on this that I had worked on a little bit, and we'll see if you guys agree with me. I'm not always right, as you know. Somebody said, I saw one of the comments in YouTube said when I talk about speculating, that I was about better than 50-50, I said, and this guy said, you're more like 10. Am I really? Am I off that bad? I didn't think so. I don't know. The giveaway. The giveaway. Sorry, yes, the giveaway. Oh.
No, they're wrong. You're a lot closer.
You're at least 20.
Yeah, let's do the giveaway.
You're at least 20, Jeff. Come on, you're
no 50-50. I'm with you.
50-50.
If not more, you're
the only thing I really blew. Well, yeah, I did blow it pretty badly when it came to talking about the why they had I thought they had the Muon data at the beginning of the season 10, and they didn't.
Me too. I
Ryan,
thought,
thank you,
I
sir.
thought first episode. We were all wrong when we were guessing last season in the group. How many caissons are they going to go down before they find the treasure? And I was like, oh, just one. They're going to find it right away.
I was saying 4, I think, or something.
And then they even had time to do that extra one. So, man,
I don't see the picture now. Where did you send that, Linda? Did you send it to my personal, or I mean, just between you and me, or the 4-way? I can't find it. Dang it. I know you sent it and I didn't get it ready. We are having a giveaway, folks, tonight, and it is a collection of postcards, I believe.
Postcards, yeah. I saw it on the Facebook.
Yeah, and I can't, for the life of me, I can't find them now for whatever reason. And Linda's probably shaking her head. I mean, I can't believe this guy. She works with me all the time on this, and yet I always let her down. I found it. I got it. All right. So we're going to do this giveaway real quick, and then we'll get on with the Muon data. And I'm going to show you this picture. This is what we are giving away. Right here. Boom. Okay. So it's 4. I think it's 4 postcards.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically all the guys, or most of the team, not all of the team. I really like this picture right here with Emma and Helen and
the archaeologists,
doing the Charlie's Angels thing. That's pretty cool. I thought that was awesome. And you got Corian and the guys out there, and Scott and everybody. Yeah, cool stuff. And the HO stone,
the cross. The moment they found the lead cross, and when Rick and Marty were like swimming in the ocean.
Yeah,
because they were so happy. Yeah, that was I think that's maybe one of my favorite Oak Island moments.
Yeah,
like the two brothers pushing each other. Anyway, sorry.
Yep.
Hey,
that was great.
Okay, there are 4 of them, and it's about half of the guys on the island, actually.
Okay. All right,
guys and gals.
There will be another set. And Jan and I are working on that, but it won't be available until next year. So this is our last one for this season. Okay. But next fall, there will be 2 different sets. I just knocked that off.
Hopefully that wasn't your phone.
No, it's okay. I'll clean that up later.
All right.
Okay, here we go.
All right, I'm gonna make you bigger here.
Okay.
So we can see the thing spinning. All right, this is for the collection of postcards, and it's almost done there. And we have, I see a B name. Still hasn't stopped yet. I didn't hear a da-da. Did it do it?
Yeah, did it do it? We can only see white screen.
All we see is white on your phone.
Okay.
It did do it?
Can you see it?
No.
Okay, it says Becky Mars, Marrs. Becky, are you here tonight?
All right.
Whoa, wait.
What?
I spun the wrong one.
Oh.
I'm so flustered from knocking all that stuff on the floor. I'm so sorry. Oh, good grief. Hang on. Because now it won't let me spin for like 10 seconds. Stop.
It's because I'm here. We're getting skinwalkered.
Oh.
It's like, are we doing the Skinwalker Ranch show?
We kind of are getting skinwalkered because this is like not now. It won't work at all.
Uh-oh. Yep,
It's
and that's
like,
what we're giving away. It's the cards. There, it's got all these pictures. We'll give Linda a little time here to get this all together.
Yeah. So
I'm loving that HO stone. I want those other pieces. I want to go. I was talking about snorkeling. I want to go snorkeling. Now, if I go out in Colin's boat and I got my snorkeling gear, I'm allowed to snorkel as long as I don't go on the beach, correct? Of Oak Island?
You can go on the beach up to the high tide line.
Mm-hmm.
So I could go snorkeling and walking around over there where the HO stone used to be and got blowed all up, and I can look for other pieces as if they haven't already, right?
Right.
I'm not allowed to clean any rocks off in the ocean or any of that kind of stuff, and you can't touch them. Are you ready?
No, my phone is restarting itself.
Oh, all right. Well, we'll give you
Sorry.
some more time here
Well,
as we talk about that.
I'm so sorry.
And it's the same as it's the same as when you're snorkeling or when you're in the water, right? Like
You're breaking up there a little bit.
you can't move stuff. You can kind
You're
of
being skinwalkered.
clear it
you're
off a
being
little.
skinwalkered. Yeah. Yeah. No, you're not allowed to clear off the rocks. You're not allowed to wash off the kelp or wipe the kelp off so you can see it. None of that stuff. You're not allowed.
Hmm.
But,
Okay.
you know, they got to catch me, right? So, no, I'm away.
All right. We're going to try this.
All right, let's try it again. Here we go. Normally we can hear it, but we can't hear it this time. All right, so it's still spinning, slowing down, slowing down. Don't hit any buttons. You're all right. Oh, there we go.
Why is it doing that?
You can't see a name. It's just white this time.
Wanda Irwin.
Wanda Irwin. Is Wanda here? Wanda, you got to let us know you're here. You got 50. Yeah, well, we got a delay, so we got a few seconds. Let us know you're here, Wanda, and then get your information to Linda. And I thought I saw her name.
Wanda is usually on the Facebook side, so I can't tell.
I'm scrolling to see if Wanda is here, and I don't see her in there. Wanda, let us know if you are here, because you got to be present to win. I don't see Wanda is not in. Does she know what night it was?
Yeah, I talked to her yesterday. Because normally she's not with us on, well, sometimes she is. But anyway, she's almost always on the Facebook side.
Did you see what Tony said?
No.
I said something about snorkeling. Tony Sampson said they will shoot you here for that. All right. Well, I was just joking. You're the diver.
Well, that's why you're going to do the tour, right?
Yeah. Well, you know, and when we're doing the tour, if I'm lucky enough to have Tony be the guy, I know you got other captains that are just, you know, do a great job. Tom and Henry told us all about that. But in the event, if you could tell me about where it was the day Joe Stone was sitting, just so I know, just curious, you know, it was right about here on the beach, and they blowed it all up, and yeah. All right.
Okay, kids, we're not having good luck with this, but we're going to spin again.
All right, spin again. All right, and then we're gonna get back into this. And I got 15 minutes to talk about the Muon technology. Now we can see it.
I was about to say, Cat's gonna win again.
Deborah Karen.
Deborah
Karen. Is Deborah here? No. Let us know if you're here, Deborah.
Mm-hmm.
Still laughing about Tony's response there. All right, so Deborah Karen, I haven't seen her say anything yet. I hope she's here. We'll be spinning on this thing all night.
I'll take it.
I was going to say after the third spin, it's up for grabs, right?
It's the book, right? Or no, it's the postcards. The postcards, which I like those postcards.
Yep. I don't see Deborah Karen tonight.
All right.
Yeah, I need to be able to do letters this big that say you have to be present to win. Brenda Dixon says, they're mine.
Yep. So I can't believe out of 150 people watching the show tonight, and Deborah's not here.
All right, Deborah, we're
okay, moving on.
Spin again.
One more. Can't see the name, so you're gonna have to tell us this time. I almost saw it.
Janet scores.
Janet. Oh, Janet's here, I think. Right?
I think so.
Oh yeah,
Janet
she's
is
right here, right there. Janet is the winner. All right.
Congratulations.
Sorry, you guys. And then I'm going to go clean up all the popcorn that's all over my floor.
Oh yeah, that'll
One
be.
piece at a time.
Oh no. All right, well, have fun with that, and we're
Okay.
going to continue on with the show. Sorry. All right. All right, so let's jump into the Muon technology. And okay, so the first picture that we saw
Mm-hmm.
was this right here. And they showed us this, and I've got a little bit of a problem with this.
Tell me more.
What does Jeff not have a problem with? Okay. And I'll explain why in just a little bit. But here's the thing, right? Okay, so you see these blobs on this picture right here. And it says that this one right here is the garden shaft. Let me get my pointer. So you got the garden shaft here.
These are the low density anomalies, as they
Yes.
call them. Okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And then you got this one right here. Oh, you know what? I got to show one other picture. They said that's the ridge. And then they said this is the settling pond. Okay. I'm having a little bit of trouble with that, and I'll explain why here in just a second. Now, let me get to one other picture that I meant to show first. And I'm sorry, and I'm going to try to hurry up and get over to this thing. Okay. Now, as you guys know, the Muon technology, you had Doug and Gary come out and was showing the guys about the technology, right? Or what data they had collected so far that they could share with them. Okay. And here's them actually putting one of the sensors down into the pipe. I thought this was really cool.
Yeah.
See one of the sensors going down there. They put these sensors at different levels. So and I don't know if that means on one line, if it has two sensors.
That's what I was just about to ask.
I think that's what that means because of the picture that they showed, right? Well, here's how that works. You got all these muons that are flying through this space and everything and going right through you and the earth and everything else. And they're collecting this data on these. And then with these sensors that they put in the ground, and then they can find voids and anomalies and things like that. Okay. That's how this works. They put in several that we found about. They put in the ones that were right here by the swamp road that we saw before.
Yes.
The ones in the money pit, and then the ones down the South Shore. Okay. I think this down here is the one that they're calling the settling pit. I don't know. I could be wrong on the name of that, but going back to that other picture, I'll share that with you here in just a sec, but that's where I come up with my little bit of an issue. Let me get rid of these. Now, they had them at different levels, and this is where we're talking about. You got this one here at this level.
Mm-hmm.
You got the ones here at this level, and then the ones down here at this level. And you see on this line, there's one here and one down there. So they had to been able to put more than one on a line, I guess.
I think so.
Or did they put two lines down? I don't know. I don't know enough about it to be able to say. Unfortunately, but so they got those different levels, and there's another picture here. This one here. All right. Now you can see here on this one, that you got that circle right there. That's at that level. That's about the 100-foot level, somewhere around there. They said they put them at.
Was it? Let me check my notes.
Yeah, I had written down 3 different levels that they put these on. I thought it was a 100-foot level, and let's see, and then about 160 foot, and then about 200 and something. They put them way down at the bottom. Some of those wells. So here's where I get a little messed up. And let me get back to my other section because these are not in the order that I had them originally set up in. So let's get back to here. All right. Now you've got these here showing the garden shaft, the ridge, and the settling pond. Now the settling pond I thought was off the money pit. The ridge, if that's the ridge they're talking about that's on the edge of the money pit, that's quite a ways away as well. That would be on your southwestern side of the money pit. if that's the ridge they're speaking of, and if that is that the settling pond that they're speaking of. Now, here's what I did. I took the pictures and I put them like this. All right. So if you look at this, here's the garden shaft, and I use this topographical, the one showing the actual muon sensors in there.
Mhm.
The garden shaft, the settling pond, and the ridge, right? And this is where they've got that tunnel anomaly.
That just missed the tunnel too. If it doesn't go through it.
Yeah, yeah. It's like right on the very edge, as you can see right here. Right on the very edge of that tunnel. Now, this, and I'm going to make some assumptions here, but I'm pretty sure that I'm correct. All right, so you've got this picture here. So if you take that picture, you put it more flat, and you put the muon sensors down through there, you got the 5, right?
Right.
That's the 5 sensors that were in the money pit. And you see how close these other blobs, this blob here is to that one.
Yeah, it's like right off it.
To that one. Right. And the garden shaft over here. All right. So look at the next picture that I put together. All right. Now here's your sensors in the ground in the money pit. Okay. All 5. And if I'm correct, that is these 5 right here.
I think you're right. I would agree with that.
I would think so. They got them laid out just like 5 on a dice, right? Okay, so there they are laid out, and you see this is that shaft that I think that they were following when they were hitting it at 16.25.
Yeah.
Okay, and they said it was heading towards the garden shaft, and they caught it right on the elbow, and they put the sensor down, or the sonar down there, and they put a camera down there. We saw it, and then we saw it on the sonar.
And again, looking at this picture, seeing where the wells are, I don't know if well's the right word, but and then looking at where they say the settling pond is, it looks like it's right next to that.
Right. Right
So
next to this one.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't know if those red anomalies are actually the settling pond and the ridge and not maybe some voids. Because we know there's voids all over the money pit area.
Yeah.
When the drills just sink.
Yeah. I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right. So this one, I believe, is this one right here.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got the one up here on the corner of the money pit. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I was wrong. This one right here. I think this one is that one. This one over here is this one. Okay. And this one over here is the one over here on the front of the money, or just off the front of the right here.
Okay.
Okay. And then, of course, the one in the middle is the one in the middle. Now, that's what I'm thinking that these are. And then I'll show you that on this picture right here. Now, the reason that I'm showing you this is because I'm trying to lay out. I'm one of these people. I need a visual. I need to lay this out in my brain so I can see it, in a picture, and I can kind of lay this all out. Now, here's what I came up with. Now, you've got here's the data. From the sonar. This is when the sonar went down in the ground and got that one tunnel. That's M16.25. And they got it right on the elbow, which would probably be this elbow right here. But this muon technology is showing it going off this way, which would be off this way.
And that seems to head a little bit more towards where the blob actually is, right?
Yes, yes. Which I think that's right here.
So if, like we were speculating earlier, or I was, if the garden shaft was a searcher shaft, but in the 1730s, then they were probably trying to intersect that tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. At some point.
Yep.
This is cool. Thank you so much for taking the time to lay it out like this, because looking at the blue and red, it's like you said, if you asked me, where is this on the money pit? I'd go, I don't really know. Hard to visualize. But
I'm going to try to do a looking straight down picture, and we'll put it on the Facebook group page, which is the Curse of Oak Island and Beyond Skinwalker Ranch Facebook group page. And I'll try to put this out there so you guys can you see it. I'll try to do I've got a visual looking straight down on the money pit and showing the 5 sensor locations. I just didn't have time to put it together tonight. I got this much, and I do have one more
Oh, this is
picture
great.
that I want to show you. And this one kind of puts it all together right here.
Yes.
Now, and again, I'm not exact on this, so please
Ooh.
don't start sending me emails saying, Jeff, you're off by 3 inches or whatever. I don't know. I'm not exact. I did my best to try to look at the two pictures together and mark out where the 5 sensors are in relation to the money pit
And then
sensor data.
and considering that very first picture, like where the ridge and settling pond is at, this looks more like that settling pond anomaly would actually be one of these other shafts.
Yes, I think so. And again, somebody said I'm only 10% right. Maybe I'm.
Well, I mean, you're
5%.
Yeah, you're working with a snippet of what they chose to show us. So
Right.
I think you've done a really good job.
Because they didn't give us more information, I have to assume. Okay, so if now remember they said this was the garden shaft. Okay. Okay, they said that's the garden shaft, which is here, right?
Mm-hmm.
If that's the garden shaft, then you've got your 2 sensors that are right in front of it, here and here. And that would be this one and this one. Okay, then you got the one in the middle, of course, which is this one.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got this one down here, this one here, that they said this was a settling pond. But look what it's right next to. And I could be off a little bit on this, and so could their picture of their. This is an artist rendition of the layout of Steve Guptill's data map for where all the boreholes are in the money pit. So, and this is not this perfectly to scale. But this sensor right here, I think is this one, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what's right next to it? This great big blob. And what's right next to this one?
I forget the name. So is that the
Head shaft and the chapel shaft?
Chapel shaft. That's what I was trying to think. The head and
This
shaft.
one's the chapel, and this one's the head, and I believe that's correct.
Okay.
Could be the opposite way around, but I think the bigger one is the chapel shaft. The smaller one's the head and shaft.
Mm-hmm.
So is this one or both of thanks, Jeff, for the technology. It takes time to understand it, but I will check it out more on Facebook if you yeah, okay, cool. Now I'll do my best to put that on there and get this that's what I'm thinking, Borchers Farm, Texas Farm. It's based upon what's here. And this one over here that they said was the ridge. Look what we've got right there.
Hey, C1.
Now, what was at the bottom of C1?
The void. There's a void there, right?
Exactly. There's a big void down there. We've seen it.
Yeah, yeah.
The diver went down there and he was digging out the little, what we thought was a gold coin or something, and it went.
Yep. How many times
and
did
we
that
all
happen?
came out of our chairs trying to grab it through the screen. Okay, but we know there's a void down in the bottom of C1. We've seen it. There was cameras down there. We've looked at some of the junk that's laying on the bottom of it. Look like wrought iron and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And H8 is over there also.
Yeah.
So if that is, go ahead.
Maybe the tunnel's even heading towards that. I think people are kind of talking about how, where does the tunnel go? Looks like it dead ends. I don't think it dead ends. I think that's just what they chose to show us of the data. I think it keeps going.
Right. So, okay, if that's our 5 sensors and you see what they're showing that the tunnel is going around this sensor and then heading that way. So I think if I'm correct on this, which again, I don't know for sure, but
99%.
It's going actually this way, because it looks like it actually turns a little bit. And again, this is just, it's not, remember they said, and keep in mind too, I'm speculating on partial data. They said they're still compiling data and they got a long way to go yet.
Mm-hmm.
Now, maybe by now, because that was last winter, maybe by now they've got more data that they can share with us this year. We'll see when the show gets started.
Right. I've learned to not, I'm not going to anticipate anything Muon. Just
so if that is this tunnel, that they're following here, then that tunnel would be the one in 16.25, M16.25. It's making it wiggling its way up this way, and it's coming around this sensor here and going, and then turning and going. Guess where it's heading? Is that baby blob?
Could be.
Because the baby blob is supposed to be right about there. I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, it's almost showing it going. Well, it's I don't know. It's weird. Let me clear my pictures here, but
And that's a good point.
Yeah, it looks like it's going around this one, but yet under that one, under this one. So it'd be going around this one, but yet under that one. I know my lines are way too wiggly or squared off, but
so to Borcher's Texas Farms point about what we're seeing is a slice view at a certain depth. So the tunnel looking like it dead ends, maybe it's just changing depth, going deeper.
Yes. Yeah, and if you look at this, well, I can't make this one bigger. Let me, because this one's well, hold on, maybe I can. Let's see if I can make this bigger. Yeah. If you see this,
oh, it does keep going
right here. They do show it, the continuing on, going lower.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like it's going lower. So, and is, if this is the garden shaft, is this area right here? Is that our blob? Is that our baby blob?
That's our truck full of gold right there.
And where is this tunnel heading? Kind of for it, isn't it? It could be heading more over towards C1. I think this is where C1 and H8 and all that are. So, I don't know.
Yeah, and we're able to do all this speculating just off this tiny sliver. So think about how exciting once we actually have all the data and scans and views, and they can show us the 3D, I don't know what to expect, but I'm excited.
Yeah, me too.
And I always forget that they did it by the swamp and then down by the settling pond. So maybe where they're putting the Coffer Dam, maybe they know something we don't.
Right. Yeah. I don't know what they're calling at the settling pond. And I made a leap, and I know this is definitely a leap, to say that Coffer Dam, to say that settling pond is that little pond that we see, that there was some sort of a shaft or something done.
Mm-hmm.
What was that, Linda, down at the bottom of the South Shore? There was a little pond or something. I thought there was like a shaft or something that was done. Dan Blankenship was the one that was working on it. Let me see. I got that picture. And I'll show you what I'm talking about if I can find the picture. Okay, here. Okay, it's this one here. Let me bring this one back up. Right here. They put those two sensors. There's two sensors down here by that right there. And that's what is that what they're calling the settling pond, or is it somewhere else? Is it something that I've never heard that term used before? Settling pond. So yeah. I don't know where it is. Honestly, I admit that up front. I have no idea where that is. And the ridge that they're speaking of, there is a ridge that runs all the way around this side of the money pit. Is that what they're calling that ridge? But the ridge would be underground, would it not? They're showing that anomaly down below ground. Is that maybe the ridge of the when they go down and they hit the bedrock? Is that the ridge of the bedrock? I just don't know.
I like this view. This is when they had the Coffer Dams in Smith Cove, looks like.
Yeah, this was back. Yeah, this was back during the Coffer Dam in Smith Cove right there. Yeah.
That was
cool.
That was very cool.
Yeah, and that's the wash plant back there.
Yeah. That's something that we didn't really see too much of this season.
They never used it this season.
Well, I'm sure they did.
They got all those spoils. I don't know. They got all those spoils they took out of the garden shaft. They put them in the back of the dump truck. And where did they go with them? And why didn't we get to see any of, Jack Begley up there with the fire hose blasting away all the little pieces of paper off the table?
Yeah, they've found so many important things with going through those things. Little pieces of leather, the paper, like you were saying, Didn't they find one of the little cannonballs that way too? It looked like a little tiny, or I don't know if there's a grape shot. Let's see, what did Linda say? There's another small pondish further up on the hill.
By the S. Okay.
Oh, okay.
By the S?
On the shore? In the shore pit? Just slightly above it? Maybe.
Maybe. Yeah, I just don't know. We know the cave-in pit's right here. That's the cave-in pit. Is there a settling pond right up here? Maybe? Right there? Is that what you're talking about? I can scroll in on the picture. Let me get rid of my lines. I just don't know. I don't know what the settling pond is. I'm going to have to ask Laird. That'll have to be one of my questions for Laird next week.
Yeah.
Settling pond.
Right.
He'll know. Yeah, I don't know. And maybe now, and again, they're showing those pictures as a red blob.
Yeah. Why would a pond be? Well, I mean, I guess would water show up as a
100 feet underground, though? I mean,
that's a good point.
I don't know. I just that's what blew me away. They're talking about the ridge and the settling pond. If those are surface level things, then why are they showing them as a red blob underground at 100 feet or so? Again, folks, they didn't elaborate. I'm sure those guys were on screen for an hour, probably talking with them, and we got to see them for 5 minutes. So we just don't really truly know, all of what there was explained, and we have to make a bunch of assumptions. I'm making a bunch of assumptions here. I realize that, folks, but
that's the fun part.
It is kind of fun.
Yeah, sitting around saying, "Hey, maybe it's this."
Yeah, maybe it's that. Maybe it's this. But when you look at that right there, and again, you go back to, that one picture that I was showing there, and if I can find it again, this one. I mean, ridge and settling pond expected. These were expected things that are underwater, underground. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
We'll have to wait.
What do you guys think? What do you all think? And I know as we, now I'm at my hour, but what do you all think? And Seth, you too. I know I didn't cover everything that they talked about, because they talked about the well and the wall and things like that, and how
the coins
and stuff. Was there anything else that stood out to you in the drilling down episode that we didn't really talk about?
No, you covered. I mean, for me, like I said, it was the Muon data and getting to see them. These men weren't, they were fired up, ready to go. Marty was fired up, ready to go. Yeah. I got a sense of it cheered me up, and in retrospect, it was a good way for me to kind of get over the fact that I didn't get the 2-hour season premiere that I want, or season finale that I wanted. I think the season finale kind of felt like probably how it did feel to them. They just ran out of time. There was so much this season. The archaeologists came back to the island. The technology that they displayed with getting to look and bring back to life these, the corroded and rusted, things that they're finding. It's so cool.
Yeah. Yep.
I would love to have seen a little bit more things, crossed off the list, or certainly said this is what it is, but hey, it's Oak Island and you're not going to get that.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
So that's my spiel. I loved the archaeology. I think this season made some really compelling additions to the story of the who and the when.
Yeah. The trips over across the
Yeah. The trips across. I think Oak Island does that really, really well.
I do
the way they tie it in. I like it. It was cool. Great season.
Yeah.
The coins were really interesting. The archaeastronomy as well. The archaeastronomy, how they looked at Nolan's cross and then look at the sky. We know how important the night sky was to our ancestors. Navigation. So I am 100% on board with that form of dating. I think those were kind of my big things. Just the science, the archaeology, the addition to the story. Was I bummed about the delay and the money pit? Yes. But like you said, maybe we would have never seen the wall or the hatch. And I think, and I'll finish with this. Thank goodness for Lot 5.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh, definitely. You know, that was a huge thing that that they acquiring Lot 5, and you knew they were going to at any cost. I mean, it was over $1 million for that lot, but you know, honestly, they would have probably paid more for it just so that they had all of it. Now, right now, I think they own all of it except for the Blankenship lot, right? Is
Mhm.
that they have it all the rest of it now? Well, the
The
Nolan's
Nolans, yeah.
properties, of course, and the Blankenship property. They have the rest of it. So, but getting lot 5 was huge. And you heard Rick say he's definitely gonna, and I thought they covered it pretty well with the metal detecting.
I did too.
But you heard him say they're gonna metal detect it more.
Can't wait.
Yeah, I mean,
Bobby Dazzlers.
yeah. So there's got to be more stuff. Did they get everything out of there? Did they get them all out? I don't know. They should have. I mean, they had plenty. What was Gary doing all summer if he wasn't out there? You know, 800. Didn't they say on the season finale 800 different artifacts were found? Now,
Yeah.
not all of those were. You know, some of them were nails, modern nails, and different things like that, bottle caps or whatever, and
Mhm.
things like that. But I mean, a lot of it was probably junk. But again, lot 5 worth every penny. Yeah, I think so, Coach. I think you're right. Um, so yeah, I'm just kind of looking back now as we see the pond may be salt. Um, I'm just going back to look at some of the chat because I wanted to see if anything you guys took. Was there anything else that you all took? Yeah, over 800 things found that stood out to you in the drilling down episode that you wanted to mention. We're going to be doing some more stuff as we go through the summer months. We won't be doing a every Wednesday show. Obviously, you know, I'm going up to Nova Scotia. So there's some times where we're going to be skipping a week and not having a lot of stuff going on. But that's the time that, you know, I'm going to be doing some exploring, putting some stuff together. But we will keep you updated with Oak Island news, and we will be coming back on to talk about different things from season 10 and maybe other seasons going back and putting some more things together for the future and looking at what they're going to be doing in season 11. Of course, Colin's pictures. But so I really wanted to see that there was Jan, are you talking about that thing that looked like the intricately carved piece of wood? It looked like it was about a foot by maybe 10 inches or 11 or 8 inches wide and about a foot long. And so, yeah, it was a piece of wood. It was sitting by the laptop, and they never talked about that. I never saw it during the show. Never. And then there was a little like a brooch that had like little flowers, stems, and then little circles on the end of the stems, you know, that was out there. And that again was it looked like it was wood to me. Are you talking about the thing that was about a foot by 8 inches? It looked to me like it was wood. I don't know. I'll see if I can go back and find it real quick. Shouldn't take but a minute because it was on the finale.
I agree with Brenda. If you hear big celebration, yeah, you got to let us know if you hear them celebrating while you're up there.
Yeah. Oh, for sure, right? Or if they find the Ark of the Covenant while I'm there, and there's that big vortex that shows up and starts sucking all humanity, yeah, I will be gone.
Yeah.
But it was nice knowing you all and working with you guys. You know,
it's been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure for sure. I'm trying to find that picture now. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, I agree with Brenda. She said when Marty said his lucky number is number 11. I agree. It was a.
I love that.
Yeah, it was
cool.
a fired up Marty. He's ready to get the answer. The blue.
All right, here it is. I got that picture now. Here's that thing right there by the laptop. Now, to me, that looks like a piece of wood. Is it? I don't know, but it looks like, and I wish I had a a better picture of it or clearer. But it looks like it looks to me like a piece of wood that's carved very nice, very intricately, and I don't know. I wish it was on the other end of the table so we could
maybe
your eyes shut.
Maybe there's some blue jewels in there, And that's what was on the preview.
Oh, you're gonna trick us, huh? Okay, I see how you are. I mean, that there was a couple things on that table that they did not we didn't see. Oh, here's the other one. Here's the other one I was showing. I know. I am rambling on, and I said I was going to keep this to an hour. Right here, this one right here. Look at that little.
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
We never saw that.
Fork, lot 5, brooch, lot
It says
Byzantine.
brooch lot 4.
And then that's the Byzantine weight. from lot
Byzantine
8.
money weight.
Was that the half? The one that was cut in half? Or is that a different one?
Oh, that's that little. Yeah, that's that little rectangle piece.
Okay.
Lot 8. Mm-hmm.
Lot 8. Let's go.
Yeah.
The quadrilateral. Now, that was really the only place that they were able to go, nope, we can cross that off the list, right? They got to the bottom of it. What is that?
That's a piece of wood. That's got to be a piece of wood. And it looks carved.
It's the metal, it's the breastplate that the carriers of the ark would have to wear. And those holes are where the different crystals
you
or whatever.
Just went out on a huge limb right there. Talk about speculating.
It's the Ark, the Templars.
It's a piece of wood from the Ark of the Covenant.
Oh.
It fell off because it was getting rotten from all the times they put boreholes through it.
That's the rectangle dated in
little
Italy.
hatch.
Does Linda know what it is?
I don't know.
So it's not a piece of the Ark? I was so sure.
I know, right?
Leather. That's a good guess.
Yeah, I guess it could be leather. I don't know. It looks like a piece of wood to me because it looks like it has depth right here.
Yeah, yeah.
Right on the edge there. It looks like there's depth right here on this edge.
If only we could read the writing.
I know I can't. Unfortunately, I tried. I really did. I tried to read it, see what it says right there. I just couldn't. The more you zoom in, the blurrier it gets. All right. Well, that's what I had for tonight, folks. We'll put some of these pictures up in our Facebook group page, the ones that I really jumped out on a limb with. Okay, yeah, we can check with Laird and see if he knows. They showed it on the table, so he has to be able to talk about it.
Yeah.
So we'll ask him. That'll be one of his questions. Don't forget, when we have, Linda has put up the post, I believe, for questions for Laird and Emma. And she said we're already getting a lot. So we're going to do our very, very best. If we get hundreds of questions, obviously I'm not going to get to them all. I will do my very, very best to get to them as best we can for them to answer within the hour to 2 hour time limit that we're going to have for them. But yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll do our best with them, and we want them to feel welcome and not overwhelm them too. But they know that I think we've already kind of warned Laird there's going to be a lot of questions, so I think he's ready for it. So anyway, but so that's what I got. But like I said, I'll put those pictures in the Facebook group page, and you guys can speculate away on that as well as I'm doing, or better than I'm doing, to come up with what we think is happening with the Muon sensors and the data that they have collected so far. So. Seth, it's so awesome having you on the show tonight.
I was so happy and excited when you asked me. I remember watching you and Jack, talk about Oak Island when I first started watching y'all. So, yeah, you're right. Oak Island is what brought me to you, and then you introduced me to the Insiders, and tomorrow we'll talk about that.
Yeah, tomorrow night. That's right. Thank you for mentioning that.
Yeah, we got a guest tomorrow.
Yes, we do. For those of you who do like the Skinwalker Ranch, the Secret of Skinwalker Ranch, we're going to be talking about episode number 6 tomorrow. And we have Shannon DeSalvo with Seth and I, and also Christina Gomez. Now, Christina has her own channel, her own podcast that she talks about all kinds of high strangeness of every type, all kinds of neat stuff. She has a great show. And she's on there with Jimmy Church, and there's another gentleman that joins her. I'm at a loss for his name all of a sudden. We'll talk about that tomorrow. But so we're going to have Christina with us tomorrow night, and we're going to break down episode number 6. Actually, we'll be talking about probably all of the season so far, maybe all of the show. to some degree. We'll see how it goes, but it's going to be a lot of fun. So Seth and I are going to be surrounded by 2 women tomorrow. So Shannon and Christina Gomez will be joining us. So we're looking forward to that. And Emma and Laird next Wednesday night, 7:30. Don't miss that one. That's the only show we're having next week because it's Memorial Week and all that. That's the only show for next week is the one on Wednesday night with Laird and Emma. All right.
Can't wait.
Can't wait. Thank you, sir. Linda, thank you very much for helping out. Jan, great. She didn't do the full synopsis, but she gave us notes, and I'll tell you what, awesome. As always. Really do appreciate it. So, all right, folks, that's it for me. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and give us a thumbs up if you like the content of our show and all of that. And those of you who did a super chat tonight, thank you so much. Appreciate it very, very much. And if you need one of those mugs, one of these tumblers or a hat, I got hats, just let me know. And you can get the tumblers from Jess Grollo. There's a link down below for that. So, and then you just pick out the color you want. She'll make it, shoot it right over to you. And then I get like 3 cents for each one or something like that. I don't know. It's all her work. She does all the hard work. I'm just so anyway.
I've seen her in the chat before.
Yeah, she's here, or she was.
Yeah, I think last show I was watching Your Oak Island, somebody ordered it and she answered, "Yeah, I'm making it right now."
Yeah, she was. She was out in the shop making it during the show, right? So yeah, she's got a lot of other ones too. Believe me, she's got a whole plethora of different kinds of tumbler engravings on them and stuff. They're really cool stuff. All right. That's it for me, folks. Appreciate you all being here with us tonight, and we'll catch you tomorrow night for Skinwalker Ranch fans or next week with Laird and Emma. Have a great night and enjoy your holiday weekend. All right. See you later.